I would tell myself, oh my goodness, watch this mountain on my face. Maybe that's the first thing someone is gonna see, and maybe that is not the first thing. Just to make yourself feel comfortable, you might be like, let me try to hide that, let me try to cover that. It's not the first thing people meet. They're meeting the mountain on your face before they actually meet you, you know, because that's the first thing you can spot. So I feel like it definitely helps with that, making you feel good, look good, get that crisp, fresh, beautiful look. It doesn't have to be too heavy and overdone and all of that. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. What's popping? I hope everyone is doing so well. Today we're doing beginner friendly makeup. When I first started doing makeup per se, I really was focused on my brows. I think I've said that before, and let me tell you, I never had brows, and I feel like this is the most amount of brows I've ever had in my entire life. But listen, child, I was always focused on the brows. I didn't care about nothing else, because like I said, I did not have acne or anything. Your girl face was clean, like ting and good. You understand? But unfortunately, time could even make it look like if I was a liar. Over the years, things have changed. It has progressed. I've went from extremely huge caterpillar brows, extremely dark brows, to lighter, fluffier, natural looking brows. And to achieve my brows today, I'm going to be using Tobaglo Cosmetics. This is their bark brows, and we're using the shade Mauby. So I start off first by just lining the bottom like that, and then I'm going to fill it in. If you want it to still look extremely natural, you don't need to line the top. If you want it to look fleeky, you could line the top. If you feel to just line the top, then line the top, you know. I'm gonna be doing that, but I'm lining the top not from the beginning. I'm lining it a little 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters, kind of huge, away from the beginning of my brows, right? So I line it, I fill it by just making hair-like strokes. I don't color it in as before. Before I used to color in them brows, like it was filled from the top to the bottom. We're not doing that this time around. And just like last time, we always go back in with the spoolie end or your mascara wand if you don't have this. But just in case you guys want to get it, you know, my code, your glow friends, come on you. And guys, if I want, I think I could leave with my brows looking just so, and I don't need to do anything further. And for the girls who just like to see about the brows and bust it, well, I could do that. Something that I have started doing as well is cleaning up my brows with a shade that is most close to my skin tone, especially for the beginning. I mean, it's not cute when you have this extremely bright highlighter at the beginning of your brow, right? So I'm gonna go in with this shade called Almond, and that is what I'm going to use to clean up my brows, make it look very, very neat, very, very on point. We still supporting the girls who just like to do their brows and bust it. No judgment over here. You just want to give your brow just a little bit of highlight. So you go in with a concealer that's close to your skin tone. Make sure to blend it out. And I make sure to blend down. And you know, this is beginner friendly makeup. You cannot tell me you do not have a concealer close to your skin tone. That would usually be the case. You would quicker get something closer to your skin tone before you start going lighter and darker. It's only unless you happen to get the wrong thing, the girl in the store match your real bad, then you will end up with something that's not close to your skin tone. I do the same thing with the other brow. Now for some of you that aren't into the extreme brow bone highlight or any brow bone highlight at all, you can stop up to this point, blend it out into your skin, and you add your face powder, your foundation, whatever it is you like to apply, and you can leave, right? For those of you who just like to give yourself that extra oomph, you know, it's Monday. You mightn't be feeling all 100, but you don't want people to know how you're feeling. So you decide, let me pizzazz this thing up a bit. Let me hide my feelings. That is where the extra concealer comes in. And you go for a shade that's lighter. It doesn't have to be extremely bright. And you just keep it on the tail end of the brow, as you see here. You don't want to take too much either. And you just put it on the area where you have that arch. And you blend it over the concealer that you have that's closer to your skin tone. Something else you can do as well is like add the brighter concealer there and add the one close to your skin tone in the beginning. So you get that really, really nice finish. Either way, blending had to be your best friend. So it's going to work out well once you take your time and blend it. And you're seeing how that area is brighter. Time for me to do the next brow. I know I recommended that this could be for a Monday look, but it can also be a Friday look because you know you're going out and lime after work. That could be the vibes too. We're still gonna keep with using our foundation or our powder that's like our skin above, because we are against halo brows. That is not your friend, sis. Alright? Okay. And to just keep that natural look in the beginning, I still go 2 centimeters off and I clean up there. And then I just blend out the beginning. I'm not going to carve it out with the foundation like what I did in the rest of my brows. And just like that, we have this really natural looking brow with this highlight, and it's not too extreme. It looks beautiful. Y'all gonna see it in the end. In the end, you know, there's a trusty process situation, right? Since this is a beginner friendly look, I've decided I'm going to do skin first, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my whole foundation journey, or at least my journey to foundation, because I mean, I don't think anybody jumps into foundation right away. You know, we have a few steps that we take. I mean, if you happen to be someone that jumped into foundation immediately, comment and let me know. I would like to know who you are. I'd like to meet you. I'm going to start off by priming my face with e.l.f. This is the Matte Putty Primer. So, my journey to foundation, right? I actually wasn't into makeup yet. I think I actually have a picture. If I find it, the very first time I wore it, guys, don't laugh at me yet. I grew into all this beauty here. But I think I have a picture where I first wore it, and I will try to post that and let you guys see it. So it was actually my sister's face powder. And I never wore makeup before. I just used to do my brows, and I was like, hey, can I try it? And she was like, yeah, check me, you know, and she face powder, and this girl is like 2 shades darker than me. But my mom was like, will you have one on your face? I said, mommy, I just decided to try out the makeup, the face powder, you know? And she was like, yeah, because you're looking dark. My dad and I was like, how you looking dark? So listen, it's like if one taking cue from the other. You literally just heard me have that conversation with my mother. Why are you asking me how I'm looking dark? Listen, I can't for these men, you know. So my dad had to state the obvious, how I look in dark, so. And then I had to repeat myself all over again. I never grew up seeing a lot of makeup being worn around me. My mother hardly ever wore anything. My older sister, she probably would wear face powder as well. And this is the sister after me was wearing on face powder, and I was like, I could try it. Could you believe that? So your girl very first shade of powder was 2 shades darker. Eventually, I end up copying my own Arista face powder. It was my very first powder. I don't know about you, but I started off with Arista face. If you did start off with Arista, let me know too. Say, yeah, I was an Arista fan. You can speak to me when I had on my Arista face. Let me know. Oh guys, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I would have featured a business called Botanicals. I'm currently wearing their satin bonnet, feeling rich. And how I like in my robe, well, I find it has a kind of aged look or looking modern still, because this is my modern one. Don't tell she, I tell you that. Moving on to my face, I'm gonna put on the Revlon Colorstay in the shade 375. Yes, I am right back to this foundation, guys. Forgive me. I still haven't been anywhere to purchase makeup. Would you believe it? The last time I was in Pennywise was December and I have not been back. Look at me saving money out here in these streets. I know my bill gonna be ridiculous in my next Pennywise haul, but that's the reason why I'm still using this, okay? Forgive me. Well, you know, I just realized I was supposed to do something else first, but that's okay. We'll just do one half this way and the other half the proper way, okay? Back to my story about my very first face powder, Arista. You know, your girl eventually upgraded. I feel like Arista is a real beginner friendly face powder type vibe. But after Arista, I don't remember what my shade was, to be honest. But after that, I eventually upgraded to a little Sacha, a little cream to powder, ting. Then eventually, I remember, I think the cream to powder was honey or something. And then your girl decided to get black opal. You know, I was hearing a lot of people talking about black opal and all of that. And I was like, yeah, give me some black opal too. And I think I got heavenly honey or heavenly something. Turns out that wasn't my shade. But I still use it too though. And then from black opal, I went on to L'Oreal, True Match, and Revlon. And guys, it's like I can't move from Revlon. I tried Superstay, I come back to Revlon. I tried Fenty, I come back to Revlon. I tried Fit Me, I come back to Revlon. Revlon's got a hold on me. But I still want to venture out, find other things that I might like and want to try. I think these types of foundations, they are drugstore, they are beginner friendly type of foundation, and it's really nice. It's easy on the pocket because you know you're starting off. Who wants to pay $450 for a foundation and then there's a possibility it might even match them, you know? Or you want to practice and you can't really practice because, I mean, why you want to practice with your good up expensive thing, you know what I'm saying? Who want to do that? Who really want to do that? Not me. I don't know about that. I mean, if that is your normal range, then big up you, sis. So on this side, I go in with the foundation. And on the next side, this is another method that I've recently started doing. So what I do is go in with the concealer that's close to my shade under my eyes. So that way the concealer gets time to get dry and then I go in with my foundation. But alright, I'm gonna show you guys. I think with this method too, it allows you to use less foundation, whereas you go in with foundation on your entire face and then you highlight and then you contour, right? So because I missed that opportunity on this side, I'm gonna show you on the next side. Either way, you will see no matter what side, it still does an amazing job. It's just a matter of efficiency. I'm taking the shade Almond. And then I'm going to take medium beige, which is lighter. And I'm going to go over the almond with medium beige. You're going to see the difference as well. You see that there? And I give that some time to sit on the skin. Trust me, when you allow your concealer to spend some time chilling, getting tacky, it blends, and it blends out really well still, and it stays in place even more, you know? So because I still want this side to still get tacky, I want it to stay in place, I'm gonna put it on now, even though I'm moving on to the rest of my face with my foundation. Almond is the first shade again. And I'm going to even apply some of that onto my forehead. And onto my chin. I do not come down on the nose just yet. I try to cover my nose with my foundation. Then I go in with medium beige under my eyes, my forehead, and my chin. And this is what it looks like. And then I go in with the foundation in the rest of my face, and then I blend out my foundation before going in with my concealer. Now understand, this is an opportunity for you to be more efficient. Save on your little foundation and thing now, so you know how to cover your entire face. And then I go in, and we're still using the buffing method, eh? We buffing. And you make sure you come past your jawline. You know, all these things I would have spoken about in my first video. So I don't think I need to repeat it again here, right? I'm just going to show you the different ways you can do the same things. Make your makeup still look snatched or whatever, and still try to be as modern as everyone else. Gonna take some and put it onto my forehead. Like I told you guys, I go in with applying it onto my nose. And you make sure to go up into the concealer that's close to your skin tone there. So it looks seamless, it looks beautiful, it looks flawless. Now I think we're ready to begin to blend out the concealer. I just flip to the top of my beauty sponge, and then I start pressing it into the skin. And all you see in that, it starts to blend beautifully so well. It meets with the foundation and everything merges well. If ever you think you need reassurance, you just go back with the base, which is where the foundation is applied, and you allow them to truly connect, to marry, to become one. That sounds very ceremonial. I'm gonna use it above my lip, my chin, my forehead. I know I applied here last, so that's why I'm going in that area last. Then we move into this area. And you don't be too heavy-handed at all. You're not trying to absorb all the product into your sponge. You're just trying to blend it out right where it's at. And what I will do too to help my inner corner, I will just come up to my inner corner just a little bit. Right here. The sides of my nose, because you don't want your nose to show up itself too much. And then I go back on the edges, make sure everything blends together beautifully. Now, like I said, with this newer method of highlighting, it allows you to save on foundation, okay? And I'm gonna keep saying it. You don't need to come all the way up to under your eyes with applying foundation. Or if it is you prefer to still put on your foundation first, then go in with the concealer. You don't need to blend your foundation all the way up. You can just stop right there and then go in with your concealer. I'm just taking whatever remains and going onto the eyelid so that everything just looks fluid. There is no start and stop situation happening here. Now I know I did not highlight my nose. That is what we go into right now. I'm just gonna take what's on the concealer here and come down the middle, and then I'm gonna take my sponge, you pinch it, and then you keep it right here. You don't move left, you don't move right, because you don't want your nose to look wider. You want it to look as thin as possible. And to help maintain that, you go back with the base for the foundation, blend out the side. Now what we move on to is setting the face. Now you get your favorite setting powder. I am going to be using Beauty Bakery. A lot of persons tend to use Sacha. Some persons even use the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder. All these things are amazing things to use. What you need to do is to be careful in how you do it. I used to think, listen, you just pack it on just so and you let it bake. But no, it's all about setting it first. I feel like that's a step. I don't know if MUAHs on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, they used to say secretly, like whisper it and not tell you out loud. And I used to realize, yo, I feel like I was baking under my eyes with creases. And that is how I got turned off completely from baking, when the problem is that you're supposed to set it first before you bake. You understand? So you take your time and you press it in there. Make sure it gets in all the nooks and crannies under your eye, or where you applied the concealer. And you take your time and do that. It's really good when you get a small brush so you don't have a hard time getting in there. If you do not have a brush that's like this, it's quite fine. You can use a blending brush. And you take your time and you just press it in. And you go back and forth all where the concealer was. Same thing for the chin and the forehead as well as the nose. Now that I've set under my eyes, this part is optional. Baking is making a comeback. If not for the other members of the beauty industry, it's definitely making a comeback for me, because I've been a person, I did not like baking. Like I say, I used to bake my creases, and then after I'm seeing these craters under my eyes and I'm like, what is happening? Why do I look like an old person? I'm really not that old. And I go in with my Sacha and I just pack it right there under the eyes. And I don't do a lot as well. It's not a lot, it's not plenty, at least not in my opinion. And I bake. And I do that, and then I move on to the rest of the face. Now, the reason why I think beginner-friendly makeup is important is because it helps you to give that really crisp, fresh look. Sometimes you want something that's outside of the norm. You want to try something different. You want to make yourself feel good. You want to just give yourself that extra pizzazz, right? Now I'm going to reach for my face powder to just set the rest of my face before I go into powder contouring. Now, because this is a very beginner-friendly look, we're still not cream contouring, guys. It's beginner-friendly. Also, if you've gotten this far, you're interested, you're learning a lot, please hit that subscribe button, give your girl a little follow, you know what I'm saying? Now, we know contouring is an opportunity to create shadows on the face and to truly bring forward the high points of your face. Meanwhile, you have in the background the like low points. If you find your cheek a little too chubby, your face a little too round, you want to see what it looks like with a little contour, and you do that. So to do so, I always use the corners of my mouth to meet the top of my ear here, and I know I am contouring above that. And with the powder contour, it allows it to blend out much better. It doesn't look too harsh, And I always encourage you guys to use circular motion and blend up. Not down at all. You don't want your jawline looking long. Okay? You don't want your cheeks looking too low for your face either. So you just keep above that area. And if you want, you can always go back with your setting powder just to help clean it up in case you make any mistakes, right? We do the same thing with the other side. You make sure you follow the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth and you know, okay, we are above that. We are above that. We are above that. And I start by pressing it in first and then I sweep it up in circular motion. It also gives the face a bit of a lift. And who doesn't want to give the face a lift without having to spend thousands of dollars? I do. You will want to contour the sides of your forehead, your temples. If you're having a 5 head like me, you definitely come all around. Sometimes some people might tend to have not much happening at the side here, so you might do hair, or some might have not much happening here, so you might do the sides. You know, it depends on your face shape. Don't forget to do your jawline as well. So I just come along this area but in circular motion. So it still blends up by a little bit and it comes down to create that shadow here and just shows off this part of the face. So you see the difference here? So I take just a little bit that remains on, I'm just gonna dip into the contour shade and then I'm going to press it to the sides of my nose and I'm going up into the brow bone. Now remember, I did say we like things to look fluid here. You don't want anything start and stop. You see a contour appear out of nowhere. That is why we always say blend into the hairline so it look like it come from there. You know what I'm saying? And you make sure to just do the tip right there. And we starting to come. Now, like I said before, if it is you know you end up contouring too low, you don't want your jawline looking, your face looking long like singing good, we go in with the setting powder. You take that same blending brush that you use to set under your eyes and you come right there, and it doesn't even have to be too heavy. And you help lift that contour. Are you guys seeing the difference? Watch it here and then you actually see it more obvious on this side. And when I say obvious, I don't mean harsh. When I say obvious, you see in the whole definition, a little more definition on this side than on this side. Now I'm gonna go in with my blush and I definitely want the blush to sit just above the contour but still blend nicely, beautifully into it. I use my same contour brush to do that. I dip a little bit into the shade and then I come basically just above it here and still into it there, and I sweep it up. Same thing on this side. Sometimes you even come into the temples with your blush just to make your face look lifted even more. Like people think, yeah, snatch your face like this. If you're not a blush person, you don't have to do that, or you can use like a brown shade that has a bit of an orange undertone, you know, something that could give you that really, really nice blush effect without having all that color, you know. Or you can use your bronzer. The same shade that you use here, you can just go in with it a little bit more to give it that sort of blush effect one time. I know for some of you guys, you're gonna be like, listen, my face looking real good. I can put on some mascara and bust it. And that is quite fine, sis. You fix up, organize your whole self. And for others, you might be like, I want to know how to apply eyeshadow. In my last video, I show you guys how I did it using one shade. This time, you're gonna step it up a notch and use 2 shades. right? So we're gonna use our concealer and we're gonna prime our eyelid. We're gonna take a dense blending brush and we're gonna buff that out so that we have an even base. Tip number one, always make sure everything is blended out properly in order to proceed, or else your work is going to look patchy and you're going to realize, why is I not blending it properly? I take in my hand. It's because your base was not done properly. Same thing with your foundation. If it is you don't apply it properly, you're not going to get your highlighter and your contour and all these things to sit well on your skin. Now that my eyes are primed, well blended, I'm going to do a really soft and simple look with you guys. It's beginner friendly. Do come for me. So I'm going into my Mauby Heritage. Now I said soft and simple, and we're going into this colorful palette. Don't worry on yourself. I really like the shades of browns in here. So I'm going to be tackling Tobaglo Jig first. And I'm going to take Tobaglo Jig and I want to pack that over my entire lid. Just like what we did the last time. So I keep it at the base first. And then I take my time and I blend out the edges. So you want to make sure you pack on as much of the shade as possible onto my entire lid. Now this is a really nice soft brown. I love this shade so much. You can wear it even as is. Oh my god, but we're not done yet, honey. Make sure to do the same thing with the other eye. Now I still have my baking powder left there. No, I say baking powder. My setting powder that I'm used to bake left there, so I don't need to add on anymore. If you think like you need to, you do that, right? Sometimes prevention is better than cure. You know what I'm saying? So we pack it on. And then we take our time and use circular motion or windshield wiper motion, which one is comfortable for you. And we blend it out. We don't go too high up to the brow bone, because I mean we just added some brow bone highlights, okay? Take your time and you blend out the edges so that it looks really blown out, really beautiful. Gorgeous stuff, gorgeous stuff. We do the same thing with the other eye. You use small circular motions or windshield wiper motions and you blend it out. Just like that, but we're not done yet. Next thing I'm going to do is take a flat brush and I'm going to dip into another shade. That is this shade here to the top called Calypso. That is the next shade that we're going to pack on, and we're going to pack that onto our lid. Alright, so I'm just going to dip into it like twice so, and then I'm going to press it into the lid from the inner corner. And then I'm gonna go in and go up. Now we're not covering the entire lid. We're just keeping it in the beginning there. And if you want, you can make it look blended out, or you can make it look like if it's a cut crease vibe happening. If you want to get more of the pigment to show, you can wet your brush and dip into the shade and drag it on. And it looks like this. Honestly, seeing that, it is so soft, it is so beautiful. I love it. If you want it to look really soft on the edges, you can give it a sort of drag. You turning your brush to the side so that it looks like it blends out into the eyes and it doesn't look like that cut crease effect. And then you go back with the first brush that you use and you just go into that area in between them both so that you get that really, really nice blend happening there. And just like that, you get yourself some matte with some shimmers. Let me do the next eye now. Look at how beautiful this looks. Listen, I don't even want to put no kind of wing on this thing. No, that's just gonna spoil it. This is gonna spoil it. I love this. I love this. I lined my eyes with this eyeliner. Now, I don't want to do a wing because this is really like a soft glam vibes we have going on here right now. And I'm trying to ruin it. And I feel like a wing, a black wing, child, it's gonna be too heavy. We're not doing that. I already took the liberty of decurling my lashes. So the lashes I'm gonna wear today, this one's called Jennifer. I'm kidding. It's Jennifer. This is what Jennifer looks like. It's pretty subtle. It's not doing too much. She cute or whatever. She ain't dramatic like my other girl Michelle and Rochelle. So it's really, really easy to work with and stuff. Now to put on lashes, you start by looking down. And you get it in the middle or the end, whichever is comfortable for you. Do not start from the outer end first, because what if you end up sticking on, you end up with a whole set in the beginning, you know? So if you are to choose an end, choose the beginning, please. As a matter of fact, measure your lashes first and make sure it matches up with your eyes before putting them on, because next minute it's too long for your eye and you have to cut it. You're walking with a whole set of tailor lashes on your rest of your face. Where's that one? That's not cute. And you see how subtle it is? Time for me to put on the next one. Listen to me, I'm having a hard time holding this mirror doing it. So I'm gonna just look down. Lashes are on. We can go on to the rest of the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take a nude pencil. This is just so that my eyes look a little bright. You know, my eyes are a little small. Sometimes this nude color in your waterline is perfect for mornings when you're going to work. You know, you're looking sleepy still. So you go in with a white or a nude shade to just allow your eyes to look open, more awake, and all of that. So I just did that. The next thing I'm going to do is just take whatever remained on my brush from on top of my eyes, and I'm going to apply it to the bottom. And it's looking like I need more. So let me just add some more. And do the same on the other eye. What we can do now that we're finished with the eyes, just like that, we dust away all excess setting powder from wherever we would have applied for our baking. And what truly helps to make this skin looks like skin, even though you have on foundation, highlight, contour, etc., is by setting the face. So I'm going to take my Mario Badescu and I'm just going to apply it onto my sponge. And then I'm going to press it into the skin like that. It also helps illuminate and help with blending still. Because sometimes too, if it is like your primer, make streaks on your face from like when it is, when I say streaks, meaning like when you put on the foundation. Like if I put it onto my brush and I do it like that and I move on to the next side, by the time you start blending, you see in the beginning and the ending of the line that you just put there with foundation. Listen, setting spray is your best friend. Spray your face and blend again, and then you're gonna be looking brand new. Nobody gonna see nothing, and then we'll be looking like I woke up like this. Now I'm going to highlight my cheeks and everything. Y'all know we love a highlight over here. I'm reaching for my new favorite, Ace Beauty, and I want to get gleaming and beaming. And you don't want to do too much, you don't want to overdo it. You just tap it. Some highlighters might require you to blend it in, but y'all know this highlighter is like butter. And then I use my nose. I use my finger to get my nose highlight. And I just go over it with the brush just to blend it out a bit so it doesn't look too harsh. We're ready to go in on. I'll pop on some mascara. We ain't ready to go yet, eh? Now, for those who know me, already know I am a gloss girl. But today, I'm just gonna go in with Sandy Escape. And I'm only gonna put that in the middle. I love when I get that effect from a lipstick that is really light. And I use my natural pink to help give that ombre effect without doing too much, because it's beginner friendly, right? So what I do is just put it in the middle there, put my lips together a million times, get that whole dusty pink vibe in the middle there. If you want, you could go into a little bit more. And if you're in a place where you can wear lip gloss, you put lip gloss over it, like a clear lip gloss, and it works fine. Or you can rock it as is, or you can line your lips with a pencil. Like I said, in this instance, I'm just gonna use my lip color to be the transition shade or be that ombre type of vibe. And as far as I'm concerned, all they can speak to me, you know. My lips are done, my face is done. Time for me to fix my hair and come back. Okay? I've decided to go in with this light brown pencil from Tobaglo. This one is in the shade Sacha, and I'm just going to line the outer parts of my lip. Just like that. So I finally got my hair together. I hope you guys like this hairstyle. I just decided to wing it. If you guys really enjoyed this beginner friendly video, please make sure to check out my previous one and all my other videos. If you think you're a little bit above the beginner friendly, I hope you guys really love this soft glam, and thanks for watching.